So today I heard about the story of the anti-Brexit bus that was forced to divert so it didn't get struck down this narrow street in Westminster. It was narrowly avoiding a Ford Mondeo. If you've seen it, it's a massive red bus that mimics the well-known red Brexit bus, which read, "We send the EU £350 million a week, let's fund our NHS instead." So the original bus was funded by Vote Leave, which was one of the Brexit groups during the referendum campaign in 2016. The original bus hit controversy, fake controversy, when the left claimed that the campaign had lied about the numbers. The new anti-Brexit bus looks almost identical, but this time claims that Brexit is somehow going to cost £2,000 million a week and asks, is it worth it? But I think the real question is, how true is the claim on the new bus? Are we really to trust anti-Brexit groups who think the sky is going to come crashing in when we leave the EU? So before I get into debunking the ongoing claims from the left about the original Brexit bus, I want to look at this new figure that the Ramonas are claiming is true. So the people behind the bus claim that the numbers come from a leaked government report. A spokesperson from the campaign claimed that the number is reached when they consider the current UK GDP, about £2 trillion, and the predicted growth to £2.7 trillion by 2032, had we not voted to leave the EU. So that's a predicted 35% increase. Now it's claimed that when we leave the single market, which is part of leaving the EU, GDP will increase by only 30% by 2032. That makes a difference in increase of £100 billion, which accounts for £2 billion a week. First of all, the bus is suggesting that this is a weekly expenditure, that it's a cost that we're paying. And it's not. It's a predicted reduction in growth. But secondly, it's also based on a yet-to-happen trade deal post-Brexit. We have no idea how trade deals are going to work out. But given that Britain will once again be a global trading nation, what's stopping us working out deals that grow our GDP more rapidly than if we'd have stayed in the EU? We don't have a crystal ball. Remainers think they do, but they've been wrong, time and time again. But what irks me the most about this situation is that the left still uses the original Brexit bus as a stick to beat us with. They tell three big lies about this Vote Leave bus, and we must finally put it to rest. Let's debunk those three big lies. Number one, they claimed the bus lied. Now, the ongoing battle against the Vote Leave claim that the EU costs us £350 million a week is tiring because there's really no controversy there at all. The European Union does cost £350 million a week. That was our gross contribution to the EU budget. Sure, some of that money came back in the form of a rebate, but then we're bound by European Union laws and regulations that told us how to spend our money. We spent £350 million a week. That left our budget and went to them. Therefore, the European Union cost us £350 million a week. Number two, they said that we promised the NHS £350 million a week. Now, just reading the side of the original Brexit bus showed that when the left claimed that Vote Leave promised to spend £350 million a week on the NHS, they're lying through their teeth. It literally says on the bus, let's fund our NHS instead. First of all, that's a suggestion. It's not a promise. Vote Leave is not a government body. Vote Leave has no direct influence over government policy, and they are therefore unable to promise anything to the NHS, let alone £350 million a week. And furthermore, when the bus says let's fund our NHS instead, it's not committing or even suggesting any figure. It's simply saying let's fund our NHS instead. Number three, they blamed it on Nigel Farage. Do you remember when Good Morning Britain sat Nigel Farage down and gave him a good talking to and a good roasting for the £350 million claim? I've got my issues with Farage, but I don't know how he was able to keep his calm when Suzanne Reid and Piers Morgan smugly asked him, can you guarantee that's going to the NHS? And nobody deserves to be blamed for something they categorically have no responsibility for. I mean, come on, Nigel Farage is not the Prime Minister, and not only that, Nigel Farage never made the claim. Farage wasn't even part of Vote Leave. He was a supporter of Grassroots Out. So when they ask him, can you promise that money's going to the NHS, then no, of course he's not. He's not the Prime Minister, and he'd never make the claim anyway. And that's that. The original Vote Leave Brexit bus made factual claims about real life cost. The anti-Brexit bus made dubious predictions and nothing else. The original Brexit bus was never a promise to spend any certain amount of money on the NHS, and Nigel Farage had nothing to do with it. Don't let the left get away with telling blatant lies. When you hear them smugly comment on the 350 million claim and blame people who aren't in government for never fulfilling that alleged promise, call them out on it. The facts are on our side here. And assuming that Theresa May pulls her finger out, Brexit...
We will make America great again.